human.
That clip is why I got into these films. That clip of Anthony Hopkins being blasted as Megatron ascends to the heavens kills me every time I see it. That one clip sent me down a Bayformers rabbit hole back in February. I originally only intended to watch the first one and The Last Night, which is the one Anthony Hopkins gets shot by Megatron in. But after I enjoyed the first one, I thought I might as well watch them all. Sure, I enjoyed it, not for its artistic merits, but rather because I have a soft spot for dumb action films and dumb disaster films. But I still enjoyed it. Bumblebee peeing on John Turturro and all. And to watch them all was an experience. As always, I'll use this border whenever I show clips for copyright and obviously spoilers. But trust me, you're really not missing out on anything too good, or even enjoyable half the time. So without further ado, I'll be your host, Sailor Ghost, as I walk you through the world of Bayformers. But to look into Bayformers, we need to examine what makes them up. So first, the Bay. He's a dumb action film director. To be honest, I don't think there's much more to talk about, especially when I haven't seen his other films.
Here, Megatron!
So what is a Transformer? In the 80s, a toy company called Hasbro wanted to make some robot car toys. So they made robot car toys. After being a smash hit with kids, because obviously they're car robots, can you think of anything more awesome? They made an animated show. There are two factions of Transformers. The Autobots, like Optimus and Bumblebee. You can tell these are the good guys because they have good guy colors. And the Decepticons. You can tell these are the bad guys because of their names and the fact they have bad guy colors. There's lore about a civil war for a planet depleted of its energy, but who cares about that? They're robots who turn into cars and they fight. What more do you want? A sexualized teenager? Wait, no. Multiple sexualized teenagers? No? Well, too bad.
eBay.
Come the year 2007, a year full of some of the most critically acclaimed films of the decade. No Country for Old Men, There Will Be Blood, the B-movie. There was Transformers 1. No, not that Transformers 1, or the other one, this Transformers 1. Transformers 1 is actually pretty good. Not amazing, or even great, just good. And that's all it needs to be. It was simply trying to be an action disaster film with transforming robots. And it succeeded at being that. I personally praise Iron Man for looking phenomenal for 2008, but Transformers a year earlier looks honestly nearly just as good. That doesn't last for too long, so enjoy it while you can. I'm sure it looks as good as it does because Bayformers 1 is surprisingly really practical. These films are synonymous with Marvel and other big summer blockbusters for being CGI filmed slot machines. And while later films are certainly that, the first one really isn't. It's really practical with real stuntmen rolling and exploding cars. Which, that's the real reason everyone is here, because the plot really isn't much. It's a simple MacGuffin fetch quest because Ladies Man 217 sold his family heirloom on eBay. Sam Witwicky is a fun protagonist, but his absurdity isn't reached yet. But overall, it's fine. Good. A fun watch. Transformers 2, however.
Name's Wheelie. Yeah. Say my name. Say my name.
You know all that stuff I talked about with Transformers 1? Throw it out the window, because Revenge of the Fallen's just bad. However, if you know me, you know I have a soft spot for absolutely terrible films. Tall Girl, War of the Worlds, the one with Ice Cube, anything directed by Roland Emmerich, and Revenge of the Fallen does kind of fall into that category. That's mainly thanks to this guy, John Turturro. He makes the film so much more bearable. The plot of this film is basically the same as the last, a MacGuffin fetch quest, only now with extra steps. One MacGuffin turns Sam into a MacGuffin because he now knows the location of a third MacGuffin. What does MacGuffin mean even anymore? I don't know. Oh yeah, also Optimus dies like halfway through, and he's just kinda like that for the rest of the film. Until MacGuffin 3 brings him back to life so he can punch the guy from Final Destination. In Revenge of the Fallen starts a growing mistrust between the humans and the obvious good guys. And this guy mistrusts the Autobots so much, he expositions the location of a MacGuffin to the Decepticons. Speaking of exposition, the Transformers have been on Earth since the dawn of mankind. In fact, they are the reason the pyramids were built. Your crazy granddad telling everyone about how pyramids were built by the ancient advanced aliens? He's completely right in the Transformers universe. And to use the same transition, speaking of Grandad, the Fallen. He's the old first Decepticon, and he's kinda dumb. Despite being voiced by the GOAT Tony Todd, I don't care for him at all. Megatron is just a way better antagonist. Like, the lore about him being the first Decepticon is cool, I guess, but he has nothing else going on for him. Apart from John Turturro, Sam absolutely carries the film with the zaniness he gets from going insane. I mean, just look at him. He has this weird arc where he can't tell his girlfriend, Micheal, for some reason that he loves her, which is really funny because when he finally does tell her, it doesn't matter since he gets dumped off screen for the next film. Sam's zaniness isn't the only thing that I like about this film. Actually, maybe it is. It's absolutely the only thing I like about Transformers 3.
No, Optimus!
On Letterboxd, it is a very high, or I guess low honor for me to give a film a 1 out of 10. A 1 out of 10, in my eyes, is the lowest of the lowest of lows. A 1 out of 10 means there's not a single shred of enjoyability I can get out of the film. A single, somewhat funny joke can save a film from being a 1 out of 10. Just simply one somewhat alright sound effect can save a film from being a 1 out of 10. Transformers 3, Dark of the Moon, is nearly a 1 out of 10. Legit, like, the only thing stopping it from being a 1 out of 10 is I think Optimus committing a war crime is funny. Remember how I said that the Transformers were the reason the pyramids were built? Well, they're also the reason we went to the moon. Also, Buzz Aldrin's here. Imagine being one of the first men to ever set foot on the moon, and then 40 years later, you have to stare at the ceiling and tell some invisible CGI robots that the moon landing was fake, and you actually went there to investigate a Transformer crash site. Much like the second film, Optimus really doesn't do much outside of one action scene at the beginning and then one action scene at the end. But at least instead of dying this time, he's just hanging out with Sentinel Prime. And remember how I said Transformers actually looked pretty good in the first film? Yeah, that doesn't apply anymore. All Decepticons have just devolved into weird-looking alien bug things, and the Autobots have met an even worse fate visually. Well, at least not as bad as a fate as Ironhide. Yeah, Sentinel Prime's a twist villain. I can't remember what his goal was, and I don't respect the film enough to go look it up, so it's whatever he was doing with Megatron. And with him being a villain now, we get to the big action climax of Dark of the Moon. Now keep in mind, I'm a big Emmerich fan, you know, films like Godzilla, The Bad One, Independence Day, 2012. So you'd think I'd love this action climax. No, I really don't. Apart from Mr. Warcrime and Sam, like, genuinely the only thing I find enjoyable about this film is the fact that Megan Fox didn't want to return, or she was fired, so they just replace Michaela's name in the script with another character. Like, literally just crossing out her name and writing the new character's name over it. And then hiring a Victoria's Secret model to play Sam's girlfriend. But yeah, that's it. You know what, I don't even want to talk about this film much more else. Just bring in the next one.
I don't care.
TJ Miller. So we're already in the trenches with this film. At least he dies. You know what, you want to make a deal, just go really unstructured here. Like, I don't care about this film, neither do you. Let's just go through some bullet points. So the whole film was like marketed on Dinobots, you know, Transformer dinosaurs. They have like a collective screen time of like 6 minutes. They just straight up make Transformers who don't transform. The big evil corporation is called KSI. That's funny in retrospect. Mark Wahlberg. Frazier is part of like a secret Black Ops unit killing Autobots for like no reason. I'm pretty sure this is the film that has the guy whose face turns into a gun. In the first trilogy, as flawed as they are, there's still an innate passion you can feel, especially in number 1. That passion is dead here. Apart from greedy studio executives, no one wanted to make this film, including Michael Bay himself. I'm pretty sure the only reason he wanted to make this film was because then he could have Paramount fund Pain and Gain. You know, I feel like I'm forgetting something, but I just can't put my finger on it. I'm sure it's not important. Oh yeah, also Transformers killed the dinosaurs.
I've come.
Yeah, there's not even a transition here, I just want to talk about the only film I really care about. So we've come full circle to the clip that started it all, and it's where we're ending it. Transformers 5 The Last Night is just an absolute mess. More so than any other film here combined. And that's what I love about it. That's why I'm obsessed with it. Because we're finally back in the so bad it's good category. Or maybe I just have Stockholm Syndrome at this point, I don't know. So you know how these films have been slowly revealing that Transformers have been behind major historical events? The dinosaurs' extinction, the moon landing, and so forth. Well, Last Night just reveals that Transformers are behind everything.
These people like Catherine the Great, Empress of all Russia, General Washington, William Shakespeare, Queen Elizabeth, the Abraham Lincoln, Jack Daniels, the right to Churchill, Michelangelo, Churchill, Einstein, Stephen Hawking, and Citizen Da Vinci, Newton, Lavoisier, Mozart, Beethoven, Mahler, Edmund Hillary, Tesla.
And I mean everything. The American Revolution, Transformers. Napoleon, Transformers. World War II Germany, Transformers. And it all started ever since the times of Merlin and the Knights of the Round Table. Yeah, Merlin the Wizard is canon to the Transformers universe. Transformers have been here helping humanity, and particularly the Order of the Witwickies. Now there's only one Witwicki left. Anthony Hopkins. Because Sam died off screen, apparently. What I love about Anthony Hopkins in The Last Night is he's meant to be like this rich, eccentric millionaire. But instead of coming off as like old man, eccentric crazy, he's more like a dementia patient who escaped from the care home and is now about to stab you with a butter knife. You know hit 2016 film Suicide Squad? You know that epic character montage? Transformers 5 has their own version, with characters like Nitro Zeus. The character montage is genuinely longer than their on-screen time outside of the character montage. They die near instantly. This film is just a broken mess. The aspect ratio keeps changing, even in the same scene, and not like in a cool way like Sinners or Black Widow. Optimus doesn't remember what happened to Cybertron, even though he was a key player in the Civil War. It has the most obvious ADR I've ever seen.
It's the same shape on the round table.
Pangea, the supercontinent.
Also, just one incy-wincy tiny little thing I should mention. The Earth has been a transformer all along. Before the series crashed and died, it needed to give us one final plot twist. The Earth is a giant transformer. But with that, I'm done talking about these films. I don't want to talk about them anymore. They're just so terrible. Why did I do this to myself? But until next time, see ya.